Hello there and welcome back. Today I want to do a rundown of the track I made for Felt Instrument. I started a collaboration with them and I had the chance to play with their new filter called RYSY. It's based on a 1950 filter and preamp, tube preamp, called W49 that has been used widely by Stockhausen and many other along the history of it, and you should go on the Felt webpage to know all of the details. Along with that, I had the Helenko, that is another instrument that they sampled, that is a Jenko Celesta from the 1930, and it sounds beautiful. It's a kind of instrument that I sit on my kind of alley. So creating a soundtrack for them, I thought, why don't using mostly just these two instruments and see what I can get out of that. So you hear the full track before. Right now I will go through it. First maybe we'll listen just to the Helenko and the RYSY by themselves. I only added to that a simple drum line made with the C78 kit on Ableton, so very simple, and then a pad that was just made with some flute and string sample that I had. So it's all very simple. I use a lot of automation to make this filter really sing. It has some very interesting vibe, and mostly I really like these two instruments together because they have a very beautiful vibe, a very vintagey tone. So let's hear and just do a quick rundown of them, and then let's go on the track. Okay, so this is the Helenko. Now there's the drift going on. So I like how Felt do his own plugin. It's a very beautiful and simple UI. You have some preset that you can use, and right now let's just hear the sustain to have a general idea. It's a classic beautiful sound of a Celesta. It's very melancholic, so I really like it. And then you have a nice array of control from the attack, the echo, reverb. You can hear how it really changed a lot the vibe. You have the sound from the lead if it's open or close, all the mechanical noise when you release. You can see from my controller, but you can imagine. Then you can decide the echo type, reverb type. I don't want to go through all of these things because that is something you should just have fun and play with it. But it's a super simple instrument. Both for the Helenko and the RYSY, I didn't read any manual, and that's my style. I just love things that straight out of the box gives you the chance to play, and you learn by doing rather than reading. I love to read in manual too, of course, but in this case I have been very fine with that. So this is the classic sound that I would use with the Helenko, and then let's hear now the RYSY. I don't know, I'm not sure, I think RYSY. So it has a low pass and high pass, an intensity that decide how the instrument react, and it could be very soft or more hard. Then it has, let me actually mute everything because now you can hear some noise in the background, but that's because Felt, they sampled the actual noise coming from the unit. So you can add it, and I love noise, so in the track I use that a lot, and then combining things together. So again, you have the noise control, the LFO, that it's very interesting because it gives a lot of movement. And that's about it mostly. There's some other control here on the response and the wetness, but that's it. It's a super simple thing. Let's see how it sounds. It's a vibe maker. As you can hear, it gives already this interesting vintagey vibe. I like the LFO. You can hear. This is the intensity. And this is the frequency. And you have the square. This, I guess, is a sine, random. I really like this, and I use it to create. With automation to create rising vibration. So I'll show you that. So this just to go through that, very simple, super easy to use. Now let's hear the track and let's go through it. So it all starts with this pad. And you can hear that there's this sort of vibrato that goes up, and that is the RYSY. Listen to it. I have I forgot to turn on the automation, so that's, we'll listen again. On the master I have a chain that is my new kind of mastering chain with Gullfoss, with the standard clip, a limiter from FabFilter, and then another standard clip. Very simple. It had a lot of nice vibe. I really like. Super simple. So, and then the only other plugin that I use, I think, it's another, some of course plugin from FabFilter and the internal Ableton. I have the Deniz noise on the drum to add some more noise. Very simple to just add this. I wanted this track to have a lot of dust in it, so I added some with this. And that's about it. The drum is very simple. The main theme is made by 2 instances of Helenko. And I'll let you hear. The basic one is this one. And this is the setting I'm using. And I added the RYSY on it. And this is the setting I used. Turn it on. I used it just as a to pass it through the tube that the preamp would have. So in this case, it's just a warming unit and add more mojo and vibe. I copied the exact same sequence pattern, and I use another instance of Helenko to create a sort of pad that come after this, the previous one. And turn it on. So it's a slow attack. It sounds, if I play, it sounds like this. So it has a very slow attack. So the previous instance of Helenko come in there with the transient, and then this one follow. And then I added again another RYSY with this setting. I wanted this with more light, so I had some high pass and medium intensity, and it has some LFO because I wanted this to be very vibey. So then I have some EQing going on, and I cut a lot of the low end because I wanted just this to cover the higher pitch. And then with the utility and 2 LFO, I create a sort of gain, so basically a sort of tremolo, and then I moved left and right. It's simple, you can just map this thing, and I map this one to this LFO and this one to this, the opposite. Super simple. So this was the Ableton plugin. So how they sound together, let's hear it. There's nothing on the, I grouped them, but I put nothing on them. So it's very simple, but it basically the slow attack Helenko, it will cover the holes and also create movement from left to right. And everything revolves around this very, very simple chord progression. Then I have another Helenko here, and this one does another beautiful pad. This I started from a preset called Dancing with the Devil, and then I did some tweaking of it, and sounds pretty beautiful. Each preset has a different things going on, so it's interesting to just try them. I really like the approach on how they have been created. It's more of a you find the preset you like, the kind of sound that you like, and then you tweak that and you'll be fine. I added another EQ with just cutting, nothing too fancy. And then I did this trick in automation. So as you can hear, I'll show you. I automate the stereo width. So for each chord, it starts with a very narrow stereo information. And then by the time it goes, as you can hear here, the width open. So it's just kind of wrap around your head. And then it goes back to a very narrow, and it creates all of this movement. So since the track is just around a minute long, I wanted to have everything keep moving and create more interest. Let's hear all of this together. Very nice. And then the pad that introduce everything. So I have a Valhalla reverb, and I put it right at the beginning. Then I added RYSY, and RYSY it's responsible for this very interesting movement in it. So if I remove it, without it's just a very plain kind of sample, but with that it gets more interesting. So how did I do it? I just do automation on intensity, getting at the beginning very high. I had noise sometime to make the composition even more dusty, and then I played just a little with the high pass. So basically what this create, it start, and then this kind of tremolo made by the RYSY keep growing and growing and growing until then the music start. And then I kept the vibrato, the tremolo back. Then, to this composition, I add on my send and return, I have an Echo Boy that it works mostly with the pad and the drum. Very simple setting. Echo Boy Junior is one of my favorite simple delay. On ping pong, in dot, and transmitter, cutting a lot of low end. And then I had the crystallizer still from Sound Toys. And both the Helenko, the main team Helenko, go through that. And it creates this nice tail. Final step, again I have my mastering thing and I have a RYSY on the master channel with some automation too. It's just work on intensity. It starts from a medium intensity, then it goes a lower intensity because I wanted the beginning of the track to be more clear. And then little by little it raises up, and also it play with the LFO intensity at the beginning to go along with this tremolo effect to create this instability, and then introduce this uplifting part. Okay. So basically that was it. My challenge for this track was to just use as little element as possible to create something interesting, and that in just 1 minute would express something. And I feel, to me, both the RYSY and the Helenko go very well hands in hands together. I like their vintage tone, I like the noise, I like the dustiness of it, so they're very fun to play with and very, very simple to use. So I'm really happy to have the chance to play with them. I'm really happy to collaborate with Felt, because I think their design and their ideas and their way of producing this kind of stuff, it's very interesting and very musical and super fun to use. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.